Hi world, and morning from a cold England. I'm going to do this video on how elements in both individual and combined horoscopes work with each other. Elements being fire, earth, air, water. But before I do that, brief note for those people in England who are interested in how this place is run. You won't see this in the newspapers, but it is important. On Thursday the 20th of November 2014 in the British Houses of Parliament, there will be a debate on money creation and society. And this is the first time in over 170 years that the British Parliament has debated the creation of money. It's not about currency, it's about the money that's held in reserve and who owns the debt. So get your MP to go and be there, and if not, hold them accountable. This is really important. Okay, enough on that. Let's talk about elements. The four elements in the horoscope are fire, earth, air, water. Aries, Leo, Sag is the fire. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus is the earth. Water is Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. And of course air is Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Now if you put certain elements together, the blend of the two is quite a weird one actually. So let me give you some examples. If, for example, you were to put fire, someone who's got a lot of fire in their horoscope but also a lot of water, then what you're going to get is steam. You're going to get a lot of this is about saunas and sweat and people blowing hot and cold, and fire and water together will be very hot water and very cold water, ice and heat at the same time, and you never quite know where you stand because they're up and down and they blow hot and cold. Nevertheless, there is a degree of stimulation and movement there, whereas with fire and earth you've got a much more lava-like effect because earth slows fire down whilst earth heats fire up. And it's not going to create as dynamic and dramatic action, but it will burn slowly, solidly and steadily through anything, even solid steel. Put fire and air together and you get, well, basically hot air. People who talk a lot about a lot of things, but also people who wax eloquently and can actually inspire and enthuse, as well as, of course, be loud and bombastic. If you were to put air together with earth, then of course the blend of that, moving air with earth, is very much like a sandstorm, and people with a lot of earth and air in their horoscopes can come across as superficially abrasive, I'm sure without meaning to. Whereas if you were to put air with water, then you either get sort of quite fierce rain, or else you get fog, cloud and mist, a sense of movement with damp, and it's quite a weird one. That's not a particularly easy blend. And then of course if you put the two feminine elements together, water and earth, you get mud, which is why some people are actually quite down to earth, solid and grounded, especially if they've got lots of water and air in water and earth in their chart. It's a weird blend with some of these elemental mixes, and of course it is secondary to anything else that's going on in the chart. For example, you may have no element in your chart, but the houses are loaded. For example, I have no earth in my horoscope, so on the surface I'm not that materialistic, value driven or grounded, but I have lots of earth houses in my horoscope. So the outside world experiences me as being quite solid, down to earth and stable, regardless of the reality of the situation. Similarly, someone with no fire signs in their horoscope may come across as quite passive, but if they've got loads of planets in fire houses, then the outside world is going to see them as being much more proactive and initiatory, despite the fact this probably isn't the case. Someone with no air signs in their chart is not going to be that communicative. They may be actually quite more isolated, yet the outside world, if they've got lots of air houses, will see them as very socially and mentally driven. And finally, those people with no water in their chart may come across to people who know them well as quite dispassionate or objective, but if they've got lots of water houses, then the outside world will see them as very sensitive and receptive to what's going on around. The elements, fire, earth and air and water, whether it is in the signs or the houses, do need to be observed and perhaps taken care of and acknowledged when dealing with astrological knowledge. There you go, sermon over, catch you later, bye.